Hey, Kris back with another Through the Prism of Chrism videocast. We've been sharing now, 3 weeks on Watch Your Mouth because there's so much to say on this subject. Shared a couple of days ago on TellAVersion. TellAVersion. Hey, if you have a vision, TellAVersion. I want to do a spinoff on that today and speak on TellAVersion because everybody has a version. And listen, here's the thing. If my version and your version clash, then one of us aren't thinking straight. We don't have all the facts. Our memory doesn't serve us right, or else somebody's telling a lie. And that's what I want to speak on, because whether it's a fib, a little white lie, a big fish story, or an all-out whopper, they all fall under commandment number 9, which says, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And that's when it's most egregious, is when it's against your neighbor. Proverbs 6 and verse 19, God hates a false witness that speaketh lies. So, it's one thing to have a version, but when you distort your version and it turns it into a lie, that's where the problem is. So, let's talk about that today. Watch your mouth. Number 1, lying is the first conscious sin of the Adamic nature. Psalm 58 and verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. You calling me a liar? I wouldn't do that. But Psalm 116 and verse 11, David said, I said in my haste, all men are liars. Now, he didn't want to be judge and jury. He said it in his haste. He didn't mean to say it. But the truth is, even spiritual people can be deceived. You know, the more a man has to lose, the more chance there is that he's going to lie to cover his tracks and preserve himself. Jesus said, he that loses his life for my sake, the same shall find it. So, it's in speaking truth that we may lose a job, may lose our livelihood, may lose our head. But when you speak the truth, then you preserve your real self. Number 2, little white lies can make you go colorblind. You know, when you tell a little white lie, everything becomes hazy and fuzzy, and everything comes up for grabs. You need to watch that. I shared the other day on 3 little white lies. There's flattery, distortion, and then exaggeration. It's easy to exaggerate things. You know, when I used to be a pastor, my church ran between 5 and 6,000. It really did. Why? Because 200 is between 5 and 6,000. I told the truth, but there was an inference or an implication of something that isn't true. The Talmud said that when you add to the truth, you actually subtract from it. So number 3, bending the truth leads to curvature of the spine. We need men of God with backbone that can stand up and say, thus saith the Lord. But if you don't walk in the truth and live truth and speak truth and people believe that you're telling the truth, there's no effectiveness. And then number 4, half-truths do not make a whole truth. Let me say it this way. Half plus half equals a whole, right? But if you take a half-truth and a half-truth, it does not make a whole truth. It doesn't work that way. Let me share something about our modern fake news. You know, you're hearing a lot about fake news today. Listen to this report. Nothing can now be believed which is seen in the newspaper. Truth itself has become suspicious by being put into that polluted vehicle. I will add that the man who never looks into a newspaper is better informed than he who reads them, inasmuch as he who knows nothing is nearer to the truth than he whose mind is filled with falsehoods and errors. Who said that? Donald Trump? No. Thomas Jefferson wrote those words. Because listen, it's been fake news as far back as people can remember. We need to speak the truth of God. And then number 5, let me close with this. When you stretch the truth, you have to watch for the snapback. I said it recoils like a cannon. One of the most haunting scriptures in the Bible is Revelation 21 and verse 8, where it says, all liars shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Did you hear that? All liars. Now we have to watch our mouths. Or the way we used to say it when we were kids, liar, liar, pants on fire. Praise God. Kris here from the van right next to my ministry guest house. Hey, this is a great place to spend a Branson getaway. Great place. And by the way, I wouldn't lie to you. Kris here. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Like if you like, share this with a friend, and tune in tomorrow as we discuss more on Through the Prism of Chrism.